in loose ball recoveries. He is the anchor on D, Hernando, for the Mob.
Yeah, you know, again, I call him AI. He is everywhere. He is constantly evolving in the course of the game. Now, I think he's having a ball tracker installed in his eye, watching it and just snatching it midair with everything.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Gryphons, presented by Old Trapper. Kelly, Holmes, and Jones. Now, switch is Adam Stanford. He will be the stopper. That's because Matthew Wilkerson, 6'7", is out with an injured right shoulder. Jelani Janice, head coach for the Gryphs, trying to get another win here as they're currently in 5th place in the standings for SlamBall. We start each game with a throwdown. Whoa! Look at Clark Sky. He's got a 50-inch vert standing off of the ground. And Cameron Horton flying through off the tramps.
Yeah, the DAC attack is really a serious thing. He holds the Guinness World Record for vertical leap. So you get him on the SlamBall court and he becomes Spider-Man.
There's a quick jump by Kayshawn Jones, coming off a 32-point performance.
Well, having Adam Stanford as a stopper is different, but now you have someone who could also initiate an offense, and we'll see how the Gryphs do this.
So does that translate, Mason, having a vert off of ground, does that translate to the tramps?
It absolutely does in a lot of cases. It's really about your biomechanics. If your biomechanics translate powerfully to the tramps, then some really incredible things can happen. Like Justin Holmes, who's got the ball now, his weight works for him. For other people, it's their vertical leap.
So a 20-second shot clock violation as the Gryphs did not get a shot off in time as the Mob now get the ball. Gage Smith leaving his stopper position and coming in on the offense.
Look at that pass. Straight right at him. And he understands, then he hits back to the stopper's lair.
Shot clock is winding down. It's at 2. Mob got to get it up. The finger roll, no good. But look at Clark. Another loose ball recovery.
Quick to the loose balls, and Darius Clark's game is evolving right in front of our eyes. At the beginning of the season, he was really just an attack instrument, and now he's getting comfortable in different spots on the floor.
You know, we've had amazing development with Circus Sport Resort Casino, adding live lines to games. They can't make it big enough for the Mob. It was 22.5 in the last game, and they won by 40.
Yeah, that's quite remarkable that they just keep blowing the spread out. Oh, as Brandon Simpson mishandles that.
That's the biggest spread we've had in any game so far this season.
Absolutely, and can you make it bigger? That's the question. Like, what is the lines going forward for the Mob as we look towards the playoffs? You would think that the competition is going to stick in.
So our first face-off of the night, a face-off is when a player is fouled. You go one-on-one against the guy who fouled you. If you score it out the rim and you dunk it, get 3. If you score inside the tramps and don't dunk it, it's 2. Darius Clark, easy money.
He makes it look so easy. He gets in there comfortable, he's up in the air comfortable, and he finishes very comfortable.
He kind of reminds me of like jiu-jitsu guys or something that keep their heart rate really low. Like his heart rate is always so low no matter how high he gets off the ground. And again, world record holder.
I love that we got a jiu-jitsu reference.
I know.
It's SlamBall.
I know SlamBall is a hybrid of basketball, football, hockey, but now jiu-jitsu. I like this.
Nah, I can't claim that. But the hockey thing is real. You know, we don't talk about it enough, but it's a dedicated defender, just like you have in hockey, the hockey goalie. And then you also have hockey-style substitutions to keep the pace of the game pumping as the blocksmith, Gage Smith, flies down the court and forces the tempo. That's good to see.
So I did a radio interview with a Canadian radio station, and we were talking about what makes a great SlamBall player. And then they were throwing out names of hockey stars who could potentially convert over to SlamBall because there are so many hockey elements to this game. You substitute on the fly, you've got the boards around the glass that keep the ball in play, and then the hitting, hockey players would love it.
Yeah, right now our league is about 40% basketball, 40% football, and then some track and field guys, some guys from different backgrounds. But it remains to be seen what the apex skill set is going to be in SlamBall.
Now that it's back on national TV, who knows who's going to come out of the woodworks for the next season? what type of athlete is going to take over, because Gage Smith has been the best player this season.
Without question. And John, what's interesting is that when the ESPN announcement was made about our multi-year deal with ESPN, now the calls that we're getting are like, I played football for the University of Alabama, I've got 2 national championships, and I want to play SlamBall.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, there's so many. Usually when people slide in your DMs, it's for something else. No, for me, people are sliding my DMs to play SlamBall.
Hey, Fessel Shafat, he's a guy who saw one of his friends posting on social media about being invited to the elite camp. He goes, I want in, and he hit you guys up, Mason.
He did, and Fessy is a guy that we all know. We've seen on Big Brother, we've seen on MTV, and he's a big personality, and we didn't know, nice dunk there by Adam, and we didn't know if his skills would translate, but they really did. He became a dominant stopper.
What a high-scoring first quarter for the Mob. They put up 25 points, and Kayshawn Jones couldn't throw that one down.
And this is after just finished playing a game, and they're already up at 25 points.
13 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Darius Clark off the window. Couldn't get it back. Gryphs with one more chance. 6 seconds here in this quarter. Holmes throws it up for Kayshawn Jones. The assist on the alley-oop for Justin Holmes. So the Gryphs trying to close that gap at the end of this first quarter. The Mob with a hot start, a 25-9 lead. Brandon Simpson throwing it down. Can anyone beat the Mob this season? Welcome back here inside Cox Pavilion in Las Vegas, Nevada, alongside Mason Gordon, Hernando Planels Jr., and John Shriffen. What a start for the Mob, Mason. How about this lead at the end of first?
This kind of dominance is a double-edged sword. As a sport, we obviously want to see close games, but this run of excellence is kind of hard to match anywhere in team sports in recent memory.
How do we get some more Mob gear printed off? They're sold out of hoodies, jerseys, and hats because of dunks like that from Darius Clark.
It's coming. I promise it's coming. The merch drop is coming. And we have a collab that we're going to be announcing during the playoffs, a streetwear collab that I'm really excited about from a very big name, John.
Ooh, teaser alert.
Stay tuned for that. I like it. It's a deck. Oh. Got me hyped.
Well, if you can't buy Mob gear, everybody, you could certainly buy Buzzsaw gear.
That's right.
Out there. Orange and gray is great color pattern.
Buzzsaw in second place. You've locked up your playoff spot at 8-5 on the season. 20-second shot clock's winding down, and it'll expire.
That's something I've got to see an improvement from the league as a whole. It's not okay to have shot clock violation after shot clock violation, but we are seeing a pretty vast improvement over the last week.
20 seconds for a shot clock. How'd you guys come to that number?
Faster than the NBA, but not so fast that guys are just jacking up the shots, Loyal and Marymount style. That is an old reference, by the way.
I know.
Showing my age there. But you definitely want quality shots. And so in training camp, we played with 22 seconds, we played with 16 seconds, 20 seconds was money.
Gage Smith going coast to coast. As he's a gunner now, in its stoppers, Justin Holloway stripping it away.
And that's a great thing that you see about the Mob. Justin Holloway is the smallest player, but he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up from the stopper position. And this is just the Mob pouring it on.
Now, we've seen in other sports, when teams are so good or players are so good, they almost change the rules to make it fair for everybody else. Does anything have to be changed so that the Mob aren't this dominant?
I don't think so. I think this is a situation where the Mob just absolutely nailed their draft. I think they've got the best first-round pick, second-round pick, third-round pick, all the way down the line. So you really got to like this group, and I wouldn't be surprised if they ran it back top to bottom. It's hard to get this kind of chemistry, and they really play for each other.
Illegal contact.
So illegal contact as Adam Stanford was entering into the scoring zone. That'll force a face-off for the Gryphs.
I just want everybody to know that I am in this conversation about them running it back. I'm right here, guys.
So there's my question, Hernando. What do you see out there as a vulnerability?
Well, no, so I think the Mob are playing SlamBall like 3 years ahead of everybody else, just with their timing, and their draft was really, really good. But when you have Dak and Cam Holland's 2 high flyers, and then Coach Kirsch puts them in the best possible position, all of a sudden with these one-tramp lobs, he's just way above. And the reality is we are all trying to play catch-up. We're all trying to play catch-up. And yeah, I don't agree. I don't think there should be any rule change because they're playing to the rule and they're surpassing what they're doing. And as a coach, that's kind of hard to accept right now, but that's all right because it's great to chase them.
And I think it's the role players, really. I mean, you see that kind of amplitude, and it gets all the attention, but it's Cam Horton's handles, it's Brandon Simpson's Swiss Army knife ability. That's really what's making these guys completely dominant. And then Gage Smith, I'll say it again, I think he's the most incredible player that we've ever had in the SlamBall platform.
Oh, that's a huge block there by Adam Stanford. You know, an element I don't think we've talked about enough, the atmosphere that you have created here in Las Vegas. The other night, there was a promotion. If you bought a ticket to get inside Cox Pavilion, you got a free pass inside Hakkasan nightclub. That is huge. One of the hottest nightclubs on the Strip.
We're not the most uncool sport in the world. We can get down. Turn me up, John. Turn me up. We're ready for nightlife here in Vegas.
Let's get it.
Yeah, Mason.
With the facial, Kayshawn Jones catching a body.
I bet he was in the club last night.
I cannot confirm nor deny that.
If the Mob win, we popping bottles in Hakkasan?
The answer to that is yes. Unequivocally, yes. Oh! Has anyone ever...
Put that man on Sports Center.
Has anyone ever facialized Gage Smith like that?
My goodness. Mention Hakkasan and everybody's going to another level out here.
Everybody hears the trance music and is waiting for the beat to drop.
Here comes Horton. Adjusts midair and slams it home.
Yeah, you know, Cam Horton's speed and his explosiveness off the tramp is just a difference maker, even with the second game right now.
There's Gryphs into the bottom tramp. That's a violation.
And that's a mishandle, and I'll tell you why that happens. Because the Gryphs right now are over-reliant going into the scoring tramp. They want to send a couple guys into the scoring tramp instead of mixing up their attacks from the inside and outside. Once that balance starts to happen across all these teams, you're going to see a really incredible sport develop.
This might be the highest scoring first half we have ever seen from a team. 48 points in a half. Some teams don't even hit that in a game. It's the Mob with a huge lead at the break. Darius Clark with 19 points to lead the way for the Mob. Kayshawn Jones, who just slammed it home, leads the way for the Gryphs with 12. The Mob looking to run it to 16-0. My goodness.
Let's run spread for the rest of the night tonight, okay? Because that way we're focused on something that we can run and getting better. So we're going to run spread. So both gunners, who's ever identified as the gunners on the floor.
You heard it there first. The Mob have unleashed their secret offense called spread. We will see it for the first time as we start this third quarter. Alongside Hernando Pernelles Jr., Mason Gordon, I'm John Schrippen. I'm excited. We haven't seen their offense yet.
They have been running their offense called Prime almost exclusively through this whole season, and they've had a secret offense that Brendan Kirsch is going to roll out here to see what it looks like ahead of the playoffs in case he has to make an adjustment. Hernando, I bet you're taking notes.
I am watching. Luckily, I am secretly recording this at the house, at the lair. So we're going to try and break it down and hopefully try and find a way to puncture what the Mob is doing.
All right, I need you to break down these first half highlights as we take a look for the Mob. And Darius Clark he went to work in that first half.
Yeah, and right there is usually that first cutter, that decoy cutter we talked earlier, but they just gave it to him, and now he scored. And Dak, when he gets up in the air, look at him. With ease all night long, he makes it look like anybody can do it. And watch this right here. Oh!
Let's take a look at your first half stats presented by Circa Resort and Casino. Mason, what number stands out for you most?
I mean, the 48 points, we've never seen scoring like this. Are they going to break 100? Are they going to drop a dub? What are we talking about here? Gosh darn, Mob.
This is bonkers. Just when we think the Mob can't do anything that we haven't seen before, oh, they show you something new. Darius Clark out-jumps everybody, but the Gryphs pull it down. Now, I'm going to mention this again. The Gryphs are without their starting stopper, Matthew Wilkerson. So that does explain the scoring differential, but Kayshawn Jones trying to pick up the slack.
He's really trying to find different ways to score on Gage Smith, and he's done a nice job tonight.
He is becoming a much more dangerous offensive player every single game he plays. You can see the wheels turning in his head. Kick out.
20-second shot clock is winding down, and hit entering the scoring zone. That'll be a violation. So Adam Stanford will go one-on-one against the guy who decked him.
So they call this chipping. That's where you get a piece of the guy as he's airborne going into the tramps. Once you're airborne going into the tramps, you cannot be touched.
There he goes, Stanford, and he jumped over Simpson.
Yeah, you see
playing stop brain gunner with all of it. And go ahead, Mason.
He goes really fast, right, Hernando? Like, he takes a direct line, doesn't elevate enough to where there's time for the stopper to get there.
After the faceoff, the offensive team keeps possession. And the clock will start. We have running clock, 5-minute quarters. It only stops for faceoffs and the one timeout each team gets in the fourth quarter. Here's Juggernaut to himself, and there's nothing doing. Gage Smith, another stop, and he jumps on the loose ball. Look at that outlet from his back. He finds Cam Horton, and here comes the offense. My goodness.
I have to say, I'm still waiting for this so-called spread offense to be ran. It looks all the same.
It does look the same.
Thrown down, did touch the hand on the rim, so 2 points for Jordan Grant, and quickly the other way, another dunk, 3 points for Cam Horton.
I'm starting to think that Brendan Kirsch is just trolling the whole league. He's trolling the whole league. He's saying he's running a secret offense, but he's just running the same old Big Mac.
So one injury update for the Mob. Cam Hollins is going to be out for the second half with an ankle injury. But the Mob, it doesn't matter who they even put on the floor. Everybody on their team can dunk it at will.
Yeah, what's interesting about those ankle injuries is that because they're happening in the tramps, it's usually a really mild sprain. So these guys can make it back in 2 or 3 days. Oh, goodness. Dak attack
just gets
from 20 feet in the air.
He keeps getting higher and higher during the course of the evening.
The Mob won game 1 by 40. They're up by 31. And a violation against the Gryphs running into the stopper.
That might be my favorite part of the way SlamBall's developed this year, is the way that offensive players and stoppers take a minute to make sure they're okay. They check in with each other, and that's really good. You see that kind of thing in martial arts. You see that kind of respect. And I'm really happy that you're seeing it in SlamBall.
How has that developed? Because you see guys trying to embarrass each other like that. Brandon Simpson with the facial. But then once you step off the court, it's all good. How did that develop?
It developed because we found a really great group of guys. These guys are fierce competitors, and they're doing everything they can to get a win out there. But they're good guys off the court, and that's really been a special development, especially being here in Vegas. All kinds of things could happen. But these guys are really focused on the opportunity ahead of them, and thank goodness for that.
And you're also seeing the evolution from sports from 20 years ago. Everyone plays travel ball. Everyone plays in different leagues. So now they end up knowing each other, or their paths have crossed some place somewhere during their time.
Fernando, would you agree with me that Gage Smith's outlet game, from his back, from his side, he punched one out with 2 hands the other night that absolutely blew my mind. And his offensive numbers are among the best in the league when he comes up the floor.
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier. He does everything, and his passing is a big thing. I used to think that Rob Wilson, my heralded stopper in the bouncer days, was the best at the outlet pass. Gage Smith surpasses all that with pinpoint accuracy every single time.
With that last dunk, Gage Smith now has a double-double. 11 points, 13 loose ball recoveries, and Simpson, another monster jam with 2 hands. He's up to 9 points.
You know, the other thing about Gage Smith that I would love for all these other stoppers to watch, when he bounces into the scoring tramp, he almost is late at times, and he popcorns himself to get a stop and go right through it. And it's such a beautiful thing that more guys are learning.
Gage Smith trying to show off the range. We
Now
were
you're
wondering,
just showing off, man.
what he could do.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, he was a really good player at Concordia. He could do a lot of stuff. He was more of an enforcer down low, second in rebounding in the school's history. But I think he's got really great touch, and we might see it in the playoffs.
Final second here in this third quarter. We have never seen a team hit 80 points after 3 quarters. The Mob continue to set records night after night. Gage Smith from his back leading the offense. This team is unreal.
We're champions. Finish strong. Let's go. We got to act like it. Family on 3, Mob on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cam. Hey, get Cam. Hey, get Cam. Woo!
That's what we're here for. The player reaction after you dunk on someone. We thank you, Brandon Simpson, for wearing a mic tonight. Get us up close on the court here in SlamBall. Alongside Hernando Planels Jr. and Mason Gordon, I'm John Schriffen. Start of the fourth quarter. The Mob have already scored more points than any other team in a game this season, and we just started the fourth quarter.
And Brendan Kirsch just coming out of that huddle, they asked him, are you going for 100? And he said, they're going to do it, but I wish they wouldn't.
That was verbatim, by the way. I heard all of that. That was absolutely correct. That happened.
Okay, as an opposing coach, Hernando, does it feel a little disrespectful when the Mob run it up on other teams?
No, you know, and a lot of coaches throughout my career, we talk about it. You can't be worried about what the other team does. You know, you have to be worried about your own team and what you can be, and I get it. It's maybe embarrassing or whatever else it is, but Coach Kirsch's job is to get his team ready. Coach Jelani's job is the same thing. My job as well, too. So you just have to play the game. And you can't play it halfway, because that's when not great things happen, health-wise, system-wise, etc.
That's what I've heard from all the coaches. As soon as they let up on the gas, that's when injuries could potentially come into play. So you kind of just have to go full speed and play it out.
That's always been the case. Even when we were in the warehouse in East LA trying to figure out the rules, we found that if you went hard, good things would happen. And that's been SlamBall since the beginning.
Darius Clark, he's up to 36 points on the night.
I kind of dig the way they play with the receiver gloves, and they can really just grip it with their fingertips, and they can move the ball around really, really effectively. I think that's something that's really going to develop in SlamBall.
But can you shoot a 4-pointer with that glove on?
That's the cool thing. You know what? I grew up watching sports that had specialists, and I loved specialists. I loved guys that you knew what they were trying to do, you know what they were, what their specialty was, and that's how you consume the sport. And that's what you get in SlamBall. There are guys out there that are the high flyers. There are guys out there that are the facilitators, the ball handlers, the defensive guys.
And you see that with the Mob. They really understand the roles and what they need to do, and Coach Kirsch puts them in the position that makes them really successful.
Oh, Kayshawn, he tried it.
Nice, he found that corner. Kick out, he will shoot that, he will hit it. Oh, no. Wishful thinking.
Now they got a loose ball rebound. You want to send another cutter to give the stopper something to think about, but also be a threat on offense right there for the Gryphs.
So after tonight, we just have one more night left in this regular season. As Deshaun Kelly slams it home, 3 more for the Gryphs. Hernando, speaking about the buzzsaw, what do you guys need to do to be ready for the playoffs?
Well, first of all, we definitely want to secure that number 2 seed, so tomorrow's going to be a really big day for us. So, you know, our guys are locked in. We did a little film, gave them some time off today and said, listen, guys, get healthy, and let's go ahead and take care of business tomorrow. So when we do that, we got to run our stuff and then know who we're going to play and then move forward, because our mission, just like every other mission, is to win that championship here in SlamBall.
Fernando, I've been so impressed with what you've done with the buzzsaw. In training camp, you guys only won a couple preseason games, if I remember correctly, but you guys have been really dominant. Obviously not as dominant as the Mob, but it's been very, very cool to watch.
Yeah, preseason, I was a little worried. We went 1-9, and I remember telling Coach Sandy, I said, man, I must really, really suck as a coach. You know, and then that first weekend we kept going, but you know, you got to breathe faith and belief into your players, and we continue to do that, and all these coaches do as well too, and we got to keep going because we still have some time to get that championship run going.
Well, all right, we are on record watch right now because Darius Clark is now up to 41 points. The single game all-time scoring record is 43. He could break it this next possession here.
And that's amazing. Do you know that that scoring record, 42 points by Stan Shakes Fletcher, stood for 20 years? And that's traveling SlamBall all around the world.
Ty McGee broke it earlier this season with 43. Clark, that would have done it there. His 4-pointer off the mark. 1 minute to play in the ball game. Okay, get up, Jordan Grant. They're going to try to find Darius Clark.
I think they are.
He is 3 points away, a dunk from setting the scoring record. And Bird missing from deep.
Let him go.
Jones, they're just going to let him go into the scoring bed.
That definitely was one way to play stopper right there.
Will Darius Clark break the record? He puts his hand up. Are they going to give it to him? Brendan Kirsch says, nah, we're going to take the shot clock violation.
And the 16-0 perfect record and a place in history. What an incredible achievement tonight.
Ayshawn Jones. Final seconds will run off in this one. The Mob, they win another main event, and they make history. For the first time ever, they run the table in SlamBall season. Perfect 16-0. It's never been done before.
And I don't know how this line started at the end of games, but I really love it. You see it in college a lot, and these guys have so much respect for each other as Justin comes over. These guys have so much respect for each other, and this really is a family as a league. We're all trying to do something really, really special here. We're trying to stand up SlamBall as a legitimate professional sport on ESPN the right and proper way, and I'm so proud of each and every one of these guys for doing their part.
Player of the game for the Mob was Darius Clark, 41 points. He is standing by with Sean Inches Jackson.
Darius Clark, 41 points, 16-0. How do you feel?
I feel like the job's still not finished. Being undefeated is, cool. It's not the goal. We all know what the goal is, to win that last game, and that's just the next on our objective. Job's not finished. You already know how the Mob's coming,
Wow, I'm so proud of you guys. And I got my man Gage over there in his parents. I got Gage and his parents. Hey, Gage.
Hey, baby.
Wonderful game, man. Double-double. You got your parents here. Proud of you. How do you feel?
Man, it's just a blessing every time coming on this court, man. I feel amazing, man. I'm just proud to be a Mob brother, and 16-0 in the regular season, man, that's I mean, I'm proud of our guys, brother. I love the Mob fam. Love the Mob fam. Love y'all. Y'all are the best. Y'all are the best. I love y'all. Love y'all. And, man, the support from my parents since day one, man, it's just, and my little bros out there, my little sis. Yeah, and that's Greg and Barb. They're our Lake family. They're cool, man. They're cool. Yeah, but it's just a blessing to be out here, brother.
Okay, behind you is these people right here. Mom, Dad.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about your son?
We could not be more proud. He works so hard. We're so proud of him.
You know, it's just nice to see him get recognition. He's a team guy first, but to see him doing what he's doing, the whole team. We met these guys like 4 days ago, and I told Gage it's like they've been playing the ball together their whole lives. Just every guy in this team is amazing. So we're excited, we're happy, and we're thrilled to be here, man. This is crazy.
Awesome.
Mom, Dad, thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, there you
I'll touch you guys back, guys.
9 inches, good stuff. It is fun to watch, even in a blowout. There's something still exciting and electric about the Mob. Nobody does it like them.
I think that's right, and shout out to Lance and Michelle, Gage's parents, for coming out, along with the whole family. You can see who bought out all the Mob gear.
Our final tonight, the Mob win another main event, 88-50 over the Gryphs. They run the table, a perfect 16-0 regular season. They are ready for the playoffs. We have one more night here in the regular season coming up tomorrow night. For my crew, Mason Gordon, Hernando Planels Jr., James Lafferty, I'm John Schrippen saying so long from Las Vegas. One more night to go in the regular season. We'll see you tomorrow night.